welcome back. So I guess today is a continuation or a part 2 of the previous video that I put out recently about my travels in Switzerland a few months back. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different in the sense that I'm not talking about the images that I enjoyed when I was out there. I'm now going to talk about more so the failures and the adventures that I had while I was out there failing. I feel like we all fail at some point, or we feel like we fail, but there's no true failure. Like, you either learn from your failures or something good comes out of a failure. I see that way anyway. I feel that way. So today is all about the failures that I had in Switzerland. So the first set of locations I want to talk about is waterfalls. Now, I had this whole video in mind when I was trying to do this, and I was trying to show you guys how you can find these hidden waterfalls, my techniques that I use to find these hidden waterfalls on the typical tourism maps you get given. So obviously there's very touristic waterfalls out in Switzerland, but just down the road there'll probably be an even bigger waterfall which only the locals know about, and I was trying to show you guys techniques on how to do that. I was also trying to make a video on how I prefer to shoot rough looking waterfalls rather than these streaky, long exposure waterfalls. It's not really my kind of imagery. So yeah, those are the topics that I had in mind for these videos. Now it looks like here that I went for 2 kind of compositions. Now I've been to this waterfall many times before, and I've always captured it from the right side of the waterfall. You kind of get the typical iconic. If I have a shot of that, I'll post it in the video now. But this time I wanted to go over to the left side. Now the problem on the left side is there's a lot of falling rock and it's a little bit more dangerous. So I'm going to leave you guys with the broken down, messed up video that I tried to make on that day. So I'm continuing on my hunt for some let's do this again. So we're still on the hunt for some waterfalls. This particular waterfall I'm taking you to today, this was found not by myself, but by one of my friends who live here in Switzerland, So let's get up there and try and find a way to shoot this waterfall. Just see how it looks. So the waterfall is literally just behind me now. So I'm gonna get on my little down jacket here so I don't freeze to death, because the spray is probably gonna kill me. And then let's head into this actual waterfall. It's not really a massive, big dramatic waterfall, but there is a lot of interest here. There's some fallen logs and there's a lot of things to work with for the foreground. Like, if you look around here, there's tons of these rocks with moss on them, loads of leading lines here. We've got all these lines that can lead straight into the waterfall. Yeah, so there's a lot to work with. I think what I'm going to try and do first is just get a typical kind of hero shot, try and get as wide as possible. And I think the best place to do that is literally stepping onto this rock just here, right? And I get the tripod nice and low, 45-degree angle looking upwards. I don't like long exposures for waterfalls, but we'll talk about that in another video. I like it to look rough and ready. I don't really like them to look stringy because I feel like it loses the power, especially one like this, where it's not really fully flowing, it's got gaps. Yeah, it won't look too great once it's all silky and smooth. Oh, I'm slipping. Oh my God, I'm doing the splits. The only stupid thing of me right now is if you look on the floor here, you see all those 3 boulders? The 3 boulders that I just fell, even right by my foot here. Those boulders have fell from above me. You guys can see. So I'm not really stood in the right place, but any minute now I can get hit by a boulder on top of my head. So let's do this really quick. And the rest of that whole video sequence was shot in slow motion. Every single sequence of me talking was slow motion from that point on. So that's the main reason why this video failed. But that's not the only reason. I mean, I put myself in such a stupid position. I didn't show it in the video because I don't think I got video footage of it, but at one point I was talking to you guys on the camera and there was a boulder that fell right by my feet. It was like a couple of inches away from my face. I think it even hit my foot when it came down, but man, I was just in such a stupid position. And then there was a whole sequence of me just slipping over because I kind of set the camera to intervalometer mode to try and shoot as many pictures as I can. And there's just a whole sequence of me slipping across these rocks looking like an absolute fool. Yeah, crazy. Absolute fail of a video, but let's see what we came away with. Now, if you're wondering why I've been looking at my phone all this time, if you watch part 1 of this video, you know that I've already put the pictures on my phone so that I can just discuss them rather than go. Anyway, so it looks like I've actually only got one image of the overall scene, and I'll show you guys that picture right now. It's not the best image. It looks like it's not the best image. And the worst thing about this is I forgot to fix my ND filter settings. Now I use one of these variable ND filters on the front of my lens, and me, like the fool I was, rushing away to do these videos, I left it on a really dark setting, and then I left my camera settings. That's the one thing that I don't enjoy so much about Fuji. It's not the same as Sony cameras, or on the Sony cameras you can have a whole different set of settings for your video than you do for your photography. Now, I don't know if you can do that in Fuji, but I haven't came across it yet. It seems like the settings are always carried over. So yeah, I ended up shooting very dark, well not dark, but longer exposures, which meant my images were those annoying, streaky bacon waterfalls that I do not enjoy. Now, before this video ends up getting an hour long, let's move on to the next sequence of series of images that I failed on, that I was trying to get. Now, what I was trying to achieve here is just going into the forest and talking about how you can still shoot on days when it's raining. Now, if you follow this channel, you know I'm an advocate for going out on rainy or bad weather days and shooting as much images as I can. So I wanted to try and get another wallpaper image, but I was trying to go for a selfie image of myself within the forest, trying to incorporate the forest and the rain and stuff like that. But yeah, it didn't go to plan. Look, let's watch the footage that we do have, and then I'll talk about where it failed at the end. Let's head into this forest and see what we can get. So this is the scene that we was out here shooting the other day. I don't know if you guys can see that out there, but literally there's no visibility of the mountains at all. So what I want to do is try and maybe focus here, see if I can get some nice external shots of the forest that's below, see if I can get some of the clouds tipping over the trees there. But I think we're gonna have to get closer to the forest just so I can get more detail, because at the moment there's so much haze and there's so much rain in the air that it's leaving a kind of a typical, like a fog, but not so much of a fog. It's kind of leaving a layer in front where it's making the images not so contrasty, you know what I mean? There's not so much clarity there, so it's taking away a bit of that contrast. So I want to get a bit closer so the contrast can then come back into play, but not so close that the clouds disappear, if you know what I mean. So yeah, man, so that's the scene, that's the setting where we're at now. I'm gonna go ahead and take some shots and see how this turns out. Well, I'm gonna have to be super quick right now because it's absolutely showering down and the camera gear is soaked. I think that's a good reason why you should buy the Fuji X-T2 is weathering. But anyway, let's get into this. So this is the scene that I've set up here. You'll remember this from the shoot we did the other day on the mountain here. And yeah, so we've got the houses down the bottom and we've got the tree line all across here. But then in the distance, in the other image, you'll notice that there was mountains all here. We don't get any of that now. So what I want to focus on today is something more so this area here. If I just move the camera around very slightly. So there we go, take a bit of that out there. I like to kind of leave these sections, you see here where it's just a bit lighter in the sky, I like to leave those in. It adds to show you how big this angry cloud is, and I like to keep as much sky in my images when it comes to things like this because that really shows the mood. So yeah, that's pretty nice how it is. Also, if we zoom in, I think we'll get some better shots of the forest itself. And yeah, something like this where it's just really hazy and really misty. I think this would be pretty cool for a wallpaper. So let's take some shots here, and I'm gonna go to the car, warm back up again, and then try zoom into this forest, see if I can find a road in this forest somewhere, and then take some more shots. All right, let's get to it. So the rain is getting so bad now. Let's just see if I got focus here. So the rain is getting really bad now. It's getting really heavy to the point where things are disappearing. So let's run back down to the car, check out the images we got. So let's run back down to the car and check out the images that we got, right? Man, I gotta do this quick. So heavy rain right here, jeez. And shooting forests and things like that, there's no better time than when it's overcast and raining. Take a look at this view behind me, for instance. Look at that. It's beautiful. Now I know I've got some rain droplets on my lens right now, so it might ruin the shot, but jeez. Look at that view. You just can't beat it. I don't think so anyway. I think it's gonna be a pretty nice wallpaper. I've been looking for that moody kind of shot, and I think I might have it here. So those are the random sequences of videos that I managed to put together. Now you might be thinking, why did they just suddenly cut off? The reason is me being the fool that I am. I only recently bought the Fuji cameras, and I didn't realize how fast the batteries burn out on the Fuji cameras. Now on each of those days I took 2 batteries out with me, and I think it was just so much moisture in the air or something, but the batteries just seemed to wear out really quickly, and I forgot to bring my grip with me, which would have been a whole better option. But yeah, so basically I didn't get enough footage. It just suddenly shut off because of battery issues. But other than that, I was really enjoying these videos. I was enjoying making them. Just watching it back now, they seemed like they could have been okay. So let's go over some of the images that I've got on my phone. From those locations within the forests, or trying to shoot forest areas in the rain. So then, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, seeing me fail so many times. I mean, even though we fail, we kind of get something from the failure. They say even if you fail, you learn from your failures. I don't feel like I learned from my failures, but one thing I did get from it is some images that I didn't realize that I had. So I guess I did learn, like, even if you do take some shots that you think are bad, in a couple of months' time, you look back at them and like, they're not that bad, you know what I mean? They're salvageable in a sense. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to, and leave a comment below on your favorite piece of this video and what you want to see in the next one. Now I'm thinking for the next video, I might show you guys finally like the behind the scenes and the making of that Porsche shoot that I was doing, and maybe just take you on a mountain hike that seriously could have ended very badly for me. So until then, happy hunting, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.